Hey guys, do you remember geometry? Well, geometry is that branch of mathematics which deals with different shapes, their respective properties and their measurements. When we look at different objects around us like phones, windows, doors, signboards, etc., we see different shapes. Some of them are rectangular, some of them are triangular. But do you notice anything common among these shapes? Yes, it is the line segment. I'm sure you are an expert in identifying line segments, lines and rays. A line extends indefinitely in both directions. We can draw a line like this or even like this. That means there isn't any fixed way in which a line can be drawn. Also, we cannot draw a complete line on a piece of paper. That is why we just draw a part of the line and draw arrows at the end to show its extension. Lines are generally denoted by lowercase letters. Either we can name this line as line L or simply mark 2 points, say A and B, and name this line as line AB. Mathematically, we can represent it as AB with a tiny line on top of it. While a line has neither a beginning nor an end, a ray on the other hand has a beginning. A ray is a line that has one beginning point and then it extends to infinity in the other direction. Just like a line, even rays can be drawn in different ways because what we draw is just a part of a ray. We can mark this fixed point with any alphabet, let's say A, and mark point B anywhere on this ray. Then we name this ray AB. Mathematically, we can show it as AB with a tiny ray on top of it. This tells us that the ray starts from point A and goes indefinitely in one direction crossing B. The funny part here is the point where the ray begins is the end point. Here A is the end point. Hence, we cannot write it as ray BA because ray BA represents a ray which begins from point B and goes to infinity crossing A. However, we can write a line AB as line BA because it extends to infinity in both directions. Talking about a line segment, it is a part of a line. Now it has two fixed endpoints. We can measure a line segment because it has a fixed length. When we name these endpoints as A and B, we call it line segment AB, or simply we can write it as AB with a tiny line segment on top of it. And yes, we can also write it as line segment BA. We can measure a line segment using a ruler or a combination of a ruler and a divider. Let's see how it can be done. So, here is the line segment PQ that we are supposed to measure. First of all, place the ruler along the line segment and coincide the 0 cm mark of the ruler with one of the ends of the line segment, say P. Now, record the reading of the other end Q on the ruler. Clearly, it is 6.3 cm. While using the combination of a divider and a ruler, first we stretch the arms of the divider along PQ. Then we place it on the ruler without disturbing the arms. We place one of the arms on the 0 cm marking and then take the reading of the ruler where the other arm falls. Once again, it shows 6.3 cm. What do you think the hands of a clock are? Are they lines, rays or line segments? Although they look like rays, but they are line segments because they have a fixed length. Now, if you observe carefully, then you can see that the two hands of the clock are at different positions at different points of time. Now, let's assume the two hands represent two rays meeting at a point. When two rays have a common endpoint, they form an angle. The two rays are called the arms of the angle and the common endpoint is called the vertex of the angle. We measure angles in degrees And I hope you all remember that to measure an angle, we use an instrument called the protractor. The shape of the protractor is a semicircle. The midpoint of the baseline of the protractor is called the central point. The protractor has unit markings starting from 0 degrees all the way to 180 degrees. As you can see, the arms of the angles can take different positions like 1 degrees, 20 degrees, 90 degrees, 135 degrees, 170 degrees, etc. Depending on the positions of the arms of the angle, there are different types of angles. Let's see what they are. An angle which measures more than 0 degrees and less than 90 degrees is an acute angle. An angle which measures 90 degrees is called a right angle. We do have an angle which is more than 90 degrees and that is called an obtuse angle. So any angle more than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees is an obtuse angle. Now, what happens when we have two rays pointing in exactly opposite direction? Yes, there we have a straight angle formed and the measure of that angle is 180 degrees. Let us turn this ray to make an angle more than a straight angle. An angle which measures more than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees is called a reflex angle. Okay, what about a case when the two rays coincide with each other? Well, the angle that measures 0 degrees is called a zero angle. When the arm takes a complete turn, the angle of 360 degrees is formed. This angle is called a complete angle. I hope you have now understood all about lines and angles. In our upcoming videos, we will learn a lot about lines and angles and see how they are related to each other. For that, stay tuned with us.